to another episode, and today we're working on the brand new 2016 Kia Sorento, and we're replacing the steering wheel with this nice fancy leather wrapped one. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the nut holding on the negative battery terminal. We're going to use a 10mm socket and a ratchet. And this is to ensure that the airbag is not going to blow up in our face, just in case. So looking at the steering wheels, how to remove the airbag. In the back, there's going to be a hole here, a hole there, and a hole here. And you're going to need to stick a screwdriver in. And when it protrudes, it's going to remove a clip that's actually locked in between these three tabs here. So you will definitely need to sacrifice 2 credit cards of some form, thick plastic ones, not laminated ones, to sneak around the 2 tangs on either side. There's actually 2 sets of tangs. Ones that will be activated or released via the screwdrivers coming in from either side on the bottom, and then the other one almost like holds it just in case that wasn't supposed to happen, meaning the screwdrivers going in. So the credit cards slide in between the 2 tangs and shimmy like you're trying to break into a door lock, the actual lock mechanism. And once you got that, you can go ahead and release the bottom. So now that we got this off, we're gonna need to very, very carefully remove those 2 yellow clips. These right here, there's 2 of them. They're color coded. One should be baby blue and one should be orange. So this way you can't install them wrong. So first let's unplug the horn. This is black wire right here. It's just a simple spade connector. You can actually just pry this back and it just keeps the wires downward. I already have my socket on here. Now we have a little bit more access to the back here. So I want you to do this without damaging anything, but yet showing you guys how to do that. So basically, you want to take a very small flathead screwdriver and pry up under here, lift up on both of these, and then this connector should come right out. Should be really gentle with them because they're super flimsy. Very, very flimsy. All right, I got those 2 orange tabs up. Now we can just simply lift up on the whole plug. Like that, and then your airbag comes right out. If anyone is interested in what a 2016 and newer Kia airbag looks like, this came out of a Sorento. It's a little bit different than the prior years, in a sense where the prior years only had 3 springs, 2 on top and 1 on the bottom. And the way you would access them is by the holes in the steering wheel. You'd come in from the side and you would push a detent inside one of these relief springs here. The 2016 and newer are totally different. You actually almost need like a catch tool. This is just a flathead screwdriver. But you'd almost need to like hollow it out to an arch to come in here and push on this spring. And you got to do that actually twice, including using some old cards, some like membership cards, to come in and sneak in and shimmy out this spring. Very, very difficult to get to unless you have the actual tool that, instead of being flat like a screwdriver, will come in and grip the sides of this detent spring on either side here. And there's also one on the bottom that you will have to lift up. Very difficult airbag to get out to. Probably one of the most difficult I've ever had to do. And I've done well over 200 airbags in my lifetime. Most other airbags just have secret screws. They're like security screws on the side, and then this airbag comes out. This one is extremely difficult. It took me 2 days, probably a total of 2 hours to figure out why this is not coming out in the same format that 2015 and older models were coming out in. So in case anyone wants to know, this is what it looks like. You can pause the screen now. But you're gonna come in from the sides of the steering wheel, those 3 little holes. There's gonna be one on the side here, one on the side there, and then one from the bottom. These teeny tiny little holes. And if you can find a grinder that can grind away an arch into a flathead screwdriver and just waste it, it'll definitely benefit you from being able to grip onto it. Because you can see I kind of gouged mine up a little bit because you're trying to find it and you can't, and the screwdriver just keeps slipping back and forth. It goes inside, it goes on the outside. So that is what the 2016 Kia Sorento, and I'm sure other models are using this spring clipped style now. So the next step is we're going to have to unplug this wiring harness here, and I'm simply going to use some blunt nose, needle nose pliers and gently coerce this plug up. Might have better time with my hands. Yep. Very easy to get out. You don't have to mess with it too much. I'm not sure if we're going to need to remove this black one or not. I don't think so. So let's go ahead and tackle this nut. It appears to be a 21 millimeter. And we're going to have to extract that. I'm going to use an impact, but you could probably use a breaker bar. You don't want to take it off completely because we're going to have to wiggle the steering wheel out. Oh, mine comes right out actually, believe it or not. Probably the shaking from the impact loosened it up. So what you want to do prior to removal is once you remove that bolt, you want to score where the top is. You want to mate up the two steering wheels later. So there's a dot inside the steering wheel. You'll see it, and there's a little notch. You want to score the shaft where to mate up that dot, so you know exactly what's centered, so you're not going to put it on off. So we're going to have to feed these wires out while being very, very careful not to just pull back. And what we're feeding through is that airbag wire, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like just the airbag wire at this moment. And make sure you're not letting this clock spring turn too much. You want it exactly where you left it. If it starts to wind out, you might have a very hard time putting the new steering back in without breaking it. When you go to do a full turn, it might have already made a full revolution. There's not enough room inside. So out with the old and in with the nice new leather wrapped steering wheel. Installation is going to be pretty much the exact opposite. So we're going to go ahead and feed that airbag wire in. Making sure, again, not to turn the clock spring too much. So working in reverse, we're going to go ahead and put our bolt back in. And if I read correctly in the owner's manual, or the service manual, it states 30 foot-pounds of torque. So we got our torque wrench out. All right, that's 30. And we're going to go ahead and just tuck our wires down. Plug that white harness back in. Bend down that little bendable tab here that secures the wires. And you're just going to reassemble the airbag the same way you took it out. You're going to simply connect those two wires, the baby blue and the yellow, as well as the horn. The horn goes on this little tab here, and just pop it back in. And thanks guys for watching. It's UmStricken06 of UmStricken06.com, and that is how you replace a steering wheel on a 2016 Kia Sorento.